Hey everybody, this is Modesta from Modesta.Africa. I have a topic that I started yesterday. I asked people if they've ever gotten into a situation where they're in terms, they want to renegotiate, but they're uncomfortable and they don't know where to start. And I thought today, rather than just start with you renegotiating something, I want to start with you negotiating right from the very beginning. So I have turned out to be 15 points. I'm going to say them as fast as I can without repeating myself. Ways that you can negotiate right from the start, so that you make sure that when you walk away with something you're comfortable with. You walk away with something that you are committed to living out for the duration of that agreement that you have. So first thing is, do not be quick to enter a career or business decision. This is a big one. And I know many times, you could say, oh, Modesta, but I desperately need a job. I've been out of the market for a long time. Or, oh, Modesta, this is going to be the big break for my business. I so need this client. But do not be so quick to make a market decision, a career or a business decision. Of course, any decision in life, but especially where, there are legalities involved. And not just legalities, not just for the sake of, I could get sued, or this could go, my company could be closed, but also for your reputation. People do business with people before they do business with organizations, and you want that your reputation, when your name is being said behind closed doors, your name is being said positively. So don't be quick to enter a career or business decision. Number 2, don't be moved by desperation and the urgency of the moment. So somebody says, this is it. You have to make a decision right now. We're considering several candidates. If you don't get back to us by close of business, you're not being considered. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, I have to get back. By close of business, I want this deal. Relax. Or if somebody else says, okay, so we're opening this window, we're closing tenders, and so these are the terms that you would accept this contract or else. I suggest, even if there truly is a cutoff, it's not like they're making it up just to pressure you. There truly is a cutoff period. Take time to do number 3. Think of family and friends' support before you enter into legally binding agreements with institutions and organizations or with strangers. And so whatever it is that you need. So for instance, somebody says, you can get money at 40% interest rate. 40% a month, you're like, what is that? But I do need the money, but at 40%, you're like, I'm going to go out of business. Or if you're told, well, this is the pay, take it or leave it. So go back, initially, especially when it's about getting money or getting a service, or, you need maybe equipment. Go check with family and friends first to see what they have available. Maybe you can negotiate different terms with them. There are times, people just get support. People say, like, wait a second, I have that. I don't even need to charge you for that. Just go ahead, take it. You need it. So think that through first before you go to strangers and before you go to organizations and you enter legally binding agreements. Consider the people that surround you, that care about you, that are supporting you on your journey, whatever it is, whether it's your career or your business, that can support you with that. And so some people, of course, I will go through their CV, and I will not go through your CV. I will charge you. But I have, right? I've gone through CVs. I've helped people prepare for interviews. I've trained people. I've coached people. I've done a lot of things pro bono. I still have a lot of people that join my classes that are not paying anything at all. Yes. Every masterplan class has some people that are sponsored, but I never divulge who they are, and they never say who they are. So go consider first who you have in your network, friends and family that can support you before you enter legally binding agreements with strangers and institutions. Number 4, consult your spouse if you're married, your parents if you're single, or a mentor or a coach that you trust before you go and make a decision. Because obviously you might be in a situation where you're desperate for your business to get this big break. You feel desperate for you to get a job. Maybe you've been in the market for a while, and before you say yes, you're thinking, I'll say yes to anything, just let me get an opportunity. And then a few months down the line, you're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know how I negotiated this. And I've actually had incidences where people say, I just did this out of desperation. It's such a raw deal, but I don't know how to get out of it now. Well, you don't want to get into that situation. So consult Consult your spouse, consult parents, consult, mentors and coaches for them to, and present to them what it is that you're facing, what is on the table, whether it's a job offer or whether it's a business contract, and so you can bounce it off. Sometimes just to share with somebody else and to hear what you're saying to them, and for them to ask you a couple of questions, you get to think, wait a second, I'm not so sure if that's something I do want to go ahead with, and you might change your mind. And then number 5, number 5 would be a budget. Check out your budget, your current budget. Do a cost benefit analysis. So what are the pros and cons of doing this thing, of entering this thing? And then also go check this opportunity, whether it is for your career, for your business. Go check this opportunity against your short, medium, and long-term plans, long-term goals. If you look at this job, okay, so these people say, for instance, we'll pay you, I'm going to have to use maybe the US dollar just because I have audiences from different countries. Let's say somebody says, we'll pay you $100 a month, which is in my country, I don't know, it's going to be like 230, 240. And you have, a lot of bills. Just transport itself will cost you a lot. You need to think that through. So number 5, consult your budget. Consult your short, medium, and long-term plans and do a cost-benefit analysis. Does it make sense, whether it's for your career or your business, for you to do this? There are times that there are a lot of hidden costs that we don't factor in when we're negotiating our pay or when we're negotiating a contract. There are a lot of costs that you absorb even just to be able to deliver on that contract that we often don't think about. And so somebody might say, okay, so this is my rate, if it's in consulting, this is my rate, this is what they're paying, great. But you're not considering overheads, you're not considering all the other people that you have supporting you in the execution of this program, of this project, or this contract. You're not considering all the other contingencies that may come up that you may not have, thought through. If it's about a career, you're thinking, they're going to pay me this take home. Well, actually, sometimes it's often gross, right? It's not even what you take home. It's before all the statutory deductions. So take time to think through, what is the cost-benefit analysis of me entering this agreement before you enter that agreement, before you negotiate and say yes, 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 and then regret it. Because what I found now is a lot of people are regretting getting into agreements, whether it is a job situation or it is even a leadership position that they have accepted and they're now in leadership, but it comes with the strain that doesn't have a commensurate, pay and benefits, and it's really taking a toll on them. But of course the title is good and the added responsibility gives them visibility, etc., and they want to continue at it, but it's eating at them. And if you're a person of integrity, a person of ethics, you do not want to go back on your word. So that you do not even get into that situation, make sure that you have consulted your budget. If your overheads, if just your transport and your rent and your meals, just that, or toiletries, come up to a whole lot more than this pay, then obviously it doesn't make sense. Especially when you don't have the support. Let's say you're living with family where, you get a bit of a cushion. If you're looking at your short, medium, and long-term plans of where you want to go, whether you're going back to school, whether you're considering, growing your business or getting more people or whatever it is you're considering to do, and so the business contract that you're about to say yes to will actually compromise, will sabotage that rather than propel it forward, then it's not something that you should go ahead with on the terms that are being proffered. I'm not saying don't go ahead at all with that job you're being offered, that maybe the terms are not good, or that contract for your business where you think, well, you're killing me here, not on these terms. Do not go ahead on those terms after you've done the research, but you can go ahead on terms that you can negotiate. So now this is how you get to the negotiating aspect. Number 6, do research on that organization. So what are they doing? What do they, if it's about work, for their roles, what are their pay scales like? What do they pay? And you can look at even comparable organizations in the market to look at what they pay for similar positions so that you know how to benchmark. If it's about doing business with an organization and the terms that they're offering, you can look at different ways of working with them. Maybe they wanted you to serve them full time and you're thinking, listen, I can do this on deliverables, so I'm not going to be there with you, sitting at your office, whatever it is, but I will deliver remotely. Maybe it was something that they required more days of your month and you can do less. Find out what options seem to be open with them and explore them. Number 7, write down what you do want. It sounds like the simplest thing, but a lot of people overlook it. Write down what you do want from this negotiation. What terms do you want to work on? And with some people, it's not even about negotiating pay. With some people, it's negotiating working arrangements, negotiating the commute, negotiating, maybe it could even be transport costs for cities that are so congested. It could be negotiating, some people may want to negotiate time with family, and some people want to have time away to go breastfeed. There are all kinds of things that you want to negotiate outside of just really what am I taking home. So write down what you do want so you can propose that, because it's not enough to say, oh, that won't work for me. Okay, so what does work for you? Understand, it's people speaking to people, and in any situation, in any relationship, if what is being presented, if what is being offered, if what you're experiencing is not what you want, it's not enough to say I'm not happy. What would make you happy? What is it that you are interested in and looking forward to? And then number 8, after you've written down what you do want, anticipate what they want from this, right? Because until the fact that you've gotten to a point where you're having a conversation with someone, it means they're interested in pursuing something with you, right? This is why I always tell people, never feel like, oh, there's an equal power, they're the employer, I'm the employee, or they're the larger business that are looking maybe to subcontract some work, and so they have the upper hand. No, they need you too. They need you as much as you would like to get engaged. And so try to anticipate what it is they would be interested in. Think from their point of view, for instance, and then by doing that, number 9, propose a favorable offer. An offer that makes sense to you, that I will fully commit, and there is no other area of my life that will be affected by me entering this contract, whether it is career or whether it is business, but also it would make sense for them as well. And so it could be considering the market at the moment, or it could be considering the other benefits apart from pay. It could be considering the fact that they're taking care of the overheads, and really you're just charging, a fee for your services if you're a business. So consider, them as well. And then number 10, rehearse your pitch. Before you go back to them, rehearse what it is you are saying and what it is you do want. And so that you can hear what you're saying, you don't get the jitters and you don't start stuttering. You have them written down, start rehearsing what it is you would have a conversation. If you can, rehearse with somebody that can act as a counterpart, so that they can say some things and challenge you in some areas that maybe you hadn't thought of, because you've mostly been thinking about your end. Number 11, stay on track. When you're now having a conversation, or if it's on email, now you're sending the counter proposal, stick to what it is that you're talking about, stick to what it is that you want to get out of it. Remember, communicate your objectives and say nothing that will deviate from that which you do want to receive. Don't entertain, not to say you don't listen, not to say you don't have a conversation. There is a social dance and a play, a conversation you have with people in any context. Equally so in negotiation. Of course, have conversations, listen, but stay on track on what it is that you want to achieve. Number 12, take time away to, when they've sent you the proposal, the counter proposal now, right? Take time away to consult and consider the proposal that's been sent. You can, so initially, right, you sat there, you had a conversation, or you were given something and there was a proposal that was sent to you. You did a cost-benefit analysis, you looked at your current budget, you looked at your short, medium, and long-term plans, you looked at your goals, you have consulted others, and you're thinking, okay, this thing is not right as it is, but should we renegotiate terms? I would be able to take it up. It's something I would be interested in, but not on the terms that is being proposed. When you've now gone back with a counter proposal and they come back to you then with what they think you can move ahead with, don't be quick to say, okay, I've wasted their time enough, because the first time I went and I thought about it and then now I'm going, no. Ask for time, a reasonable amount of time. If maybe there's a deadline and there's an urgency to the matter, ask for time and then go back. Number 13, decide when you go back what is a deal breaker. So if this is being offered, if this is what they're asking me, if I have to cross this threshold, no, I will not. It is not worth it. I am going to take from my personal, reserves. I am going to inconvenience people who are doing life with me. I am going to affect my business, my colleagues, my suppliers. Taking this contract is not going to work out for me, short, medium, or long term. Then number 14, return with the proposal, with your final proposal. And then number 14, of course, you stick to that. If they say, no, it's just not going to work out, be willing to walk away. You can walk away amicably, of course. If they say no, no. Thank you. We have looked at it and we understand you're not able to do this with us. But if you're not staying with the original terms, we can't go ahead with you. We're going to get other candidates. We're going to employ somebody else, or we'll do business with another business. Be ready to walk away, but walk away amicably. Don't walk away in a huff. Guys, it's just business. It's just work. It's never personal, even when it's personal. So stay professional, stay friendly, stay amicable. And then number 16, stay in touch. Professionally, of course, don't be harassing, but do stay in touch. Keep in contact, so you thank them for the exchange that you had. You regret that the opportunity wasn't able to go through, but ask them to certainly consider you for future opportunities that would be more aligned with the terms that you're able to engage with them. Do send people to them if you like there's somebody else that might be better suited. I actually do that. I can say no to something and I can propose somebody else that they can go ahead with. I can, share with them when I have, opportunities in future that we could do something with. You never know. Today, tomorrow, years down the line, they will remember you. Not even so much for, the person who turned us down, but they'll remember you as a person who knows who they are, where they're going, and on what terms. The person who was very gracious, very mature, very professional in negotiating. The person who didn't jump into a situation where they were not comfortable with, but also considered their side and try their utmost to meet somewhere. And they'll remember you as the professional who was very generous and gracious by connecting you with others and staying in touch. This is so key. So when you are in a situation where you need to negotiate, consider this. I said there were 15, it ended up being 16 points before you jump in and end up regretting it. Because you know what I will tell you? If you're going to get into a situation, you jump in and you end up regretting it, as much as you can, and I'm going to do another video about how to renegotiate terms you're not happy with. As much as you can, I will tell you, stay in that. You made your bed, lie in it. But I'll also teach you how you can renegotiate terms. Well, okay, now I've gotten into this situation, I've made this career move, or I've entered this business contract. It is draining us of our resources. It is taking a lot more time. We're incurring more cost to deliver than we're actually getting from it. Help. I still have a long time in this job. I still have a long time with this contract. How can I renegotiate the contract midstream? So this is the next video that I'll do from here. If you've loved this, look at me, I don't even ask if you've liked. If you've loved this, please do share it with other people. Many a times, just out of desperation, we get into things that we end up regretting. And then we start acting up. We start being unprofessional. We start not showing up. We switch off the phone. We disappear. And that leaves a terrible stain on you. So do not disappear. Make sure you negotiate right from the start. And then tomorrow I'll come back with a video of what to do then if you did negotiate right from the start in your career, in your business, but now want to revisit terms so that you can be more comfortable with the outcome. All right, have an amazing day and evening to most of you. Listen, I post all these videos that I do on YouTube. Please go to Purpose and Excellence on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, because I also do many lives that don't come on Facebook, on Instagram, etc. And do share with other people. I am committed, I am passionate, as you guys can tell, about equipping African professionals to be globally competitive. I'm very passionate about you understanding who you are and coming up, developing a personal brand, designing a personal brand and plan that gives you the success that you want to see in your career and business. And so if this content and this heart that I have for what you can be and what you can achieve is something you're interested in hearing on a regular basis, please do subscribe to Purpose and Excellence on YouTube, and let's get growing together. And do share. As I am sharing with you, share with others as well. Africa is going to be the leading economic region in the world, and I am grooming the men and women that are going to be in leadership positions that will not only influence Africa's ascent, but will completely transform the globe in our generation. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Until tomorrow, much love. Hey, let me say thank you. Phaeton, Helen, David, Edward, Joel, Dudu, Brighton, Navo, Hassan, Lillian, Victoria, and Victor. Thank you so very much for joining on this feed. Much love. Bye.